Hey, my name is Ravi Iyer, or Ravi Iyer if you know me from radio. I used to be a copywriter when I started my career. I've been getting a few calls asking for help, getting jobs in advertising, writing a CV, and even how to be interviewed. Let me tell you something interesting. I used to do a lot of things to get interviews. One amongst them, I used to create personalized CVs for advertising agencies. Yes, for every agency that I would write to, I would create a special CV. And even before that, let me tell you how I used to apply to various agencies. We used to have this directory called the INS directory, the Indian Newspapers Association Society of India. And then there were several yellow pages, Sesasiat and various ones. I used to pull out a set of names and numbers, landlines that were in those days available for that company. And we used to have a keyword under every advertising agency's release. So from the keyword, I would know which is the agency doing work for which company. I used to go to an MTNL booth, a place where you had a rotary telephone, which would work if you put a 1 rupee coin in it. The telephone booth I used to go to had a small quirk. I could put a 1 rupee coin and dial several numbers if I kept the phone off the hook very lightly. The coin would not drop and you would get a ringtone again to make a second call. So I had gamified phone calling, or cold calling if you want to call it that. I used to call at least 10 advertising agencies every day morning from 9:30 to 10:30 and ask for the creative director of that agency for an appointment. I had no body of work to show, no real portfolio, but I had such confidence in myself and my imaginary writing skills that I got at least one interview out of 1,000 calls made. And they used to give you a copy test at that time. So some of those calls were follow-ups for weeks and even months on repeat where I would say, "Can you give me a copy test?" So when someone talks about doing cold calling in today's times, I feel it's just a technique of telling your brain that you cannot be broken by someone rejecting you on a telephone call. Because if you allow the other person the pleasure of rejecting you, what is the whole point? Don't take it as a rejection. Work on it. Keep working on it. Now, let me show you how I used to make innovative CVs. After I got hired at Mudra Ahmedabad somewhere around 1992, I got to work on brands like Rasna and Dhara. I worked for a few years on Rasna and on the Rasna Genie concept, if you remember, with a couple of other creative people. I then created a CV that looked like a huge box of Rasna. I called it the Ravi Iyer Copywriter Concentrate on the front, like Rasna's soft drink concentrate. Then, on the side of this box where the ingredients were written, I pasted this written piece of information which was my CV. Now, this whole box was a big, dummy-sized box, bigger on scale, and I placed 2 video cassettes in this which had a showreel of my work. So folks in Lintas were impressed by this and hired me as a creative supervisor for Wheel. If you are looking for a job, think different. You could even make a video CV. I'm a filmmaker now, and looking for fresh new clients is my daily hustle. Remember, the hustle never stops. Have fun hustling, gamify it, and you will find success.